Good evening. I'd like to call this meeting of the Coventry Town Council to order at 6:30. Clerk, please take the roll.
Councilmember Pasqua,
Here.
Councilmember Ludwig,
Here.
Councilmember Shockley,
Here.
Vice President LeBlanc,
Here.
and President Lima is absent this evening.
Thank you. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag to the republic, France, and nation, God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. In the event of emergency, those in attendance here this evening can exit out the rear door, take a left to the parking lot, or take a right to the front lawn. Moving on to agenda item 1, meeting minutes from prior meetings. We have item 1A, April 11th, 2023. Can I have a motion to approve the meeting minutes?
Make that motion.
Thank you.
I'll second it.
Motion by Councilman Pasqua, second by Councilwoman Shockley. And any discussion?
Discussion to take the vote
Nope, discussion on the minutes. Yeah.
Okay, one.
Oh, go ahead.
I did pass one small spelling correction. Was that all set? Okay, thank you. Ready?
Clerk, did you receive any edits as well?
I received one minor correction.
Okay.
And it was made.
Okay. I think we can actually vote on this. Member Shockley just needed a couple minutes. Clerk, please take the roll.
Councilmember Pasqua,
Yes.
Councilmember Ludwig,
Yes.
Councilmember Shockley left the dais, Vice President LeBlanc.
Yes,
So that's 3 in the affirmative, 0 in the negative.
great. Thank
Motion
you very
passes.
much. Moving on to item 3, public hearings and public comment on docketed items only. We'll do public comment on docketed items first. Are there any members of the public here this evening in council chambers that would like to make a public comment? Seeing none. Is there anybody on Zoom that would like to make a public comment? Going once, going twice, 3 times. Moving on from public comment. Members of the council, do I hear a motion to open public hearing?
Make that motion.
Motion by Councilman Pasqua,
I'll second it.
second by Member Shockley. Any discussion? Clerk, please take the roll.
Councilmember Pasqua,
Yes.
Councilmember Ludwig.
Yes.
Councilmember Shockley,
Yes.
Vice President LeBlanc,
Yes,
4 in the affirmative, 0 in the negative. Motion passes.
thank you. Moving on to agenda item 3A for public hearing, auto salvage license renewals as per Coventry Code 147.7. Russell L. Chattel doing business as RCA Repair, 625 Hammett Road, Coventry, Rhode Island. May I have a motion to approve this renewal?
Mr. President,
Yeah.
You can take the renewals as a block if the council doesn't have an objection to them. You would simply need to entertain a motion to take the renewals as a block, and following would be a motion for approval.
Okay,
It's up to you.
if anybody here is in council chambers that would want to speak on either one, they would, even though it's a block? Okay. Do we have a motion to take these as a block?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Great. Clerk, can you please take the roll?
Councilmember Pasqua,
Yes.
Councilmember Ludwig,
Yes.
Councilmember Shockley,
Yes.
Vice President LeBlanc,
Yes,
4 in the affirmative, 0 in the negative. Motion passes.
great. Do we have any discussion on these items tonight? Is there anybody representing RCA Repair and or Capozzi's Auto Sales? Nope. Town Manager Parrillo, any issues with these renewals?
No concerns.
Okay. Do I have a motion to approve these renewals?
Make that motion.
I'll second it.
Clerk, can you please take the roll?
Councilmember Pasqua,
Yes.
Councilmember Ludwig,
Yes.
Councilmember Shockley,
Yes.
Vice President LeBlanc.
Yes,
4 in the affirmative, 0 in the negative. Motion passes.
thank you. Moving on to agenda item 3B for public hearing, a new secondhand license. We have two, Ann Bard doing business as Anthony Village Antiques, 64 Washington Street, and Jose Marinez, 75 Airport Road. Do I have a motion to take these as a block?
Make that motion.
Motion by Councilman Pasqua,
I'll second it.
second by Councilwoman Shockley. Clerk, please take the roll.
Councilmember Pasqua,
Yes.
Councilmember Ludwig,
Yes.
Councilmember Shockley,
Yes.
Vice President LeBlanc.
Yes,
4 in the affirmative, 0 in the negative, motion passes.
great. Thank you very much. Discussion. Is there anybody here from either of these businesses this evening? Can you please approach, state your name and your address, and just speak a little bit about your business? Jose Martinez. Great. Yep. Can you just make sure that the mic is on? If you just switch up. Thank you very much. Can you just talk about your business a little bit?
What I do is buy cars. I'm in water right now. I just want to expand my business. And what I do is I buy cars at the auction and junk cars, sell parts out of the cars, and then recycle them.
Okay, great. Thank you. Any questions from any member of the council?
So are you gonna be essentially selling, is it gonna be like a car lot down there selling used cars?
No car lots, just junk cars, parts.
So okay, so you're doing like recycled parts and. things
Yeah, I don't
like
do the
that.
recycling part because the recycler I send it somewhere else to recycle the cars.
Gotcha.
So what I do is I take the parcel off and put it online, sell parts.
Okay, I got you. Very good. So it's just a storage facility basically for these parts, and it's an
So-
online platform is
Yes.
primarily what you're doing?
Yeah, I talked to Mr. Herbert and John, and they told me the rules, what I could do and I can't do. So
So there's
Something like
none of this will be visible to the neighbors or anything like that's all
No, no.
indoors?
you couldn't even see it. honestly.
Okay. Gotcha. All right.
Any other comments, questions?
Is the town, just based on a note on my page 27, is after speaking with the chief, is the town manager good with this?
I do have a concern regarding this license. Because it is going to be a salvage yard and secondhand license, based on some contacts Mr. Martinez has had in the past regarding operating on a farm registration and forgery and counterfeiting of plates. I do have a concern regarding him establishing this business in town.
Okay, should we take these not as a block?
I'm wondering if the chief is able to speak as well. I agree with your motion, Vice President LeBlanc. Bob.
Chief, do you mind speaking on this?
If the council wishes to take them individually, you can just reconsider the block vote and do them individually.
Yep.
Oh, my lawyer's here too. My lawyer, he's not supposed to be on Zoom.
Oh, okay. Hang on one second. Chief, could you speak on this, please? Do you mind?
Could you mind just moving?
Oh, sorry.
So as far as we did the background check and there was quite a few contacts with law enforcement that were noted.
Got it.
As far as the town manager has already mentioned a couple of them.
All right, thanks for confirming that. What's your lawyer's name?
James Cunningham.
James Cottingham. Do you mind letting him in? Mr. Cottingham, can you please state your name and your address, please, for the record?
Hello, can you hear me? Mr. Vice President, can you hear me?
Hang on one second. Yep, that was our fault. The volume was low. Can you please restate your name and your address, please?
Yes, thank you. James Callahan of Callahan and Callahan, 3 Brown Street in North Kingstown.
Great, thanks for being here tonight.
Thank you.
What do you have to share with us?
I just want to give you a little background on Mr. Martinez. He does have a record. We readily admit that, but we believe the majority of his contacts with law enforcement was many years ago. There was a recent contact, I think in 2015, but that did not have to do with any of the charges discussed here tonight. But I think Mr. Martinez has matured in many ways. He's 43 years old. He's married, has 3 children, and he hopes to open up the secondhand operation on Airport Road. Basically, I would argue, and I hope you agree, that he's somewhat of an American success story. He had a difficult youth, and now he owns and operates 5 separate businesses, including a barbershop called Supreme Cuts, a construction business called Supreme Construction, an auto repair shop, Supreme Auto Repair, and I assume you're noticing a theme here in the names, and Supreme Towing. The secondhand license is merely an opportunity to expand his business in Coventry, and it's on Airport Road, which is very far away from nearly any neighbor. And we do have a letter from Mr. John Studley from the planning department indicating that this use is allowed, but he will have to seek a special use permit after getting certain permits from the town and from DBR. So we're asking for approval tonight so we can move forward in this process, and we will submit to any conditions or checks or compliance checks that would need to be done to move this forward. I think Mr. Martinez would be an asset to the community, and he really is doing his best to improve his business and expand it. And I'm kind of jealous of him in a way. He's an entrepreneur and he's doing very well, and I hope you help him move forward in that effort.
Great. Thank you for that. I really appreciate it. Mr. Pasqua.
Question for the solicitor and the manager. Is there any mechanism in place for us to give him a provisional approval on any conditions, or is it the same approval for everybody and it's just what it is?
Generally speaking, if there's a special use permit to be had, he gets a special use permit first and then comes to see us for a business license. That's what good does it do to approve of a license and then the special use permit is denied? Okay. From what I see here, the planner had some specific concerns with respect to a stipulation that no junk vehicles, unregistered or inoperable motor vehicle be stored on site for salvaging or dismantling. The testimony here tonight had everything to do with selling car parts. So I think this needs to be vetted for the special use permit, and you'll get the planner's recommendation and you can come back. There is no prerequisite that you get your business license and go for special use. So my recommendation would be to hold this in abeyance. He can come back until he gets a special use permit, plain and simple. And then you can deal with whether or not you want to issue the license. It's entirely up to the council.
Great.
But no, there is, once you issue a license, just to be clear, the only mechanism you have is to show cause the license for failure to comply. It's that simple.
Do I hear a motion to reconsider the block? Oh, sorry, member.
Just
Shockley.
because we do have all parties here tonight and there is an extra step that you would have to take before getting the license. If everyone is comfortable with that, I would like to just try to get a couple more questions answered. Just so that when you come back, you'd have an idea of possibly how it would go. Chief, 2015 was the last item. Perfect. And while you're looking at that, your other businesses, how long have you been operating those businesses? Can you just go up to the microphone just because we do have people online? Thanks.
Yeah, the barber shop 20 years, my tool company, my mechanic shop 4 years, my construction 12 years, and that's about it.
Okay. And where do you operate those businesses out of? They're all out of Warwick?
Providence and
What makes you want to have Coventry as the location where you would be working on it
because
or
honestly,
storing this?
my landlord, I don't know if you guys know him, but anyways, he's
Mr.
the one
Bard?
that- Michael Beard.
Mhm.
Yeah, the land is perfect what I need. It has all the space that I need. Where I'm at right now is small. That's why, and I do a lot of cars.
Are you going, but you're not going to be moving your auto parts business here or auto repair
No,
business?
I'm happy where I'm at right now. Like I said, I just need the space.
Okay. I do agree that it does seem as if what you're planning on doing is exactly the thing that is on here as an issue with the zoning department. And based on that fact, I do agree that you should get that special use permit and know if this license would do you any good.
Member Ludwig?
Was it Mr. Martinez? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Are you a resident in Coventry?
No.
No. So this would possibly be in my district. So I would be fielding all the phone calls of the surrounding residents if there's a possible issue. So what could you maybe just give us a little background on in terms of this business makes you comfortable operating in this location? While it sounds like it's set back, there are many residences in that general vicinity. Noise, smells, the type of businesses that are going to be coming in to buy the parts. Like, is it wholesaling? So for example, you're gonna have huge trucks coming in and out of there. Just, can you give me an idea?
No, we're not gonna have, first, we're not gonna push cars there. Like, you see on TV, junkyard, like junkyard push cars or something like that. We're not doing that. We're not putting cars on top of other cars. The cars gonna last 1 week there. Take all the parts, we junk it. Take all the parts, junk it. We're not gonna have like a million cars on the spot. We're not doing that. Like with my spot right now, what I do, I just get the car, take the parts, and I junk it. I don't leave cars in my right now.
Okay, so I think that would be my only concern, is what has been mentioned before in terms of if the car is going to be there and then dismantled, that's not covered. So I think that's where we may need a little more clarification and on how you're going to run it. And it seems like it would be a good idea to go for the special use permit to see exactly what you can and can't do.
I mean, I think Mr. Herbert, he gave me the list of stuff I could do and I can't do. Now, if you just want to see, I got it. But he's the one that gave me all the lists I can't do and I could do. Mr.
Is
Herbert,
dismantling cars on the property on that list? Could not do. But your understanding is you can do that? You can have the car on the premises and dismantle it?
he's not there with you guys no more, Mr. Herbert. I don't think he's there with you guys no more. But he gave me the stuff to do. We had an agreement, what I can't do, what I could do. So I'm like a little confused now, so.
I would be interested in seeing that. Is that something you can either give to the clerk or forward an email or something?
Right here.
Member Pasqua?
Sure.
Yeah, that's what. You can see there. Clerk, do you mind reading what it says?
It says screened or outdoor or indoor storage and wrecking of junk or salvage material. Automobile junkyards includes sales of materials.
Member Pasqua?
Question for you, Mr. Martinez. Once you strip these vehicles of all the parts, alternators, what have
We
you?
have containers.
Yep.
I mean, not now yet, but we have containers, 40 containers,
Yep.
all the parts go inside the containers. So they're not gonna be
Like Conex boxes?
containers, like the big 40-foot containers.
Yeah,
that
Conex
people use
boxes.
and Stuff like that. All
Yep.
my parts are gonna be in containers.
So once the frame of the vehicle is, everything is stripped out of the frame, what are you doing with the frame? You having a car
We recycle
crusher?
We recycle. I got 2 trucks. So
Okay.
we take the cars, we bring it to the recycling, and they pay me for my junk cars.
Gotcha. Yeah. So you're not planning on crushing the vehicles
no.
there so they can be transported easier. You get more on a truckload for a better weight, man. Okay.
Mr. Herbert, first thing he told me it was that. He said, you can't do that. I said,
Yeah.
"I'm not gonna have that.
Right.
And another thing he told me, do not put cars, you know how junk car have cars on top of each other?
Right.
That's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Any additional questions? Do I hear a motion to oh, sorry. Yep, go ahead. Member Ludwig?
So just from everything we've heard, my only concern remains whether or not you can actually dismantle the car on property. So I think if we can get clarity on that, and if that's the step you need to take. So it sounds like, and maybe either the solicitor or the town manager can confirm, the one thing you mentioned that you were going to do in your response earlier was dismantle the car at the location and then tow it away.
Throw it away. So dismantle means like taking doors, the rims,
Hmm.
batteries. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about like taking the gas out or that stuff. None of that stuff. No. I'm not the mental needs. But, like I said, I'm just taking the doors. I do it now all the time. The doors, the batteries, so sometimes the rims, alloy rims, and stuff like that. So parts for car. That's what I do. I'm not taking no borders out. None of that stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
it still feels like we need to understand whether the special use permit would not allow that, or do we already know it will not allow that?
That I don't know. That would be a
That-
zoning decision.
That's a zoning decision that will inform the council.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I would feel more comfortable having those on the zoning board give the okay on the special use. And then I would feel comfortable myself voting yes.
Okay, no problem. So how this works? I talk about lawyer about it, these appointments.
You can speak to the town clerk and she can let you know what the process is for that.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
So if we could reconsider the block, do I hear a motion reconsidering the block for the new secondhand licenses?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Motion by member Shockley, second by member Pasqua. Any discussion? Clerk, please take the roll.
Councilmember Pasqua,
Yes.
Councilmember Ludwig,
Yes.
Councilmember Shockley,
Yes.
Vice President LeBlanc.
Yes,
Four in the affirmative, zero in the negative, motion passes.
thank you. Do I hear a motion to approve the new secondhand license for Ann Bard doing business as Anthony Village Antiques, 64 Washington Street?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
So I have a first, I have a second discussion. Ann Bard, if you're on Zoom, if you would like to speak, let us know about your business. We greatly appreciate it. Please state your name and your address for the record.
My name is Ann Bard, 664 Washington Street, Coventry, Rhode Island.
Good evening.
Anthony Village Antiques is at 658 Washington Street in Coventry. We initially opened in 2007 and had maintained our license, but with COVID, we closed. So we simply want to just regain operation.
Great. Thank you very much. Any questions from the council? Hearing none, clerk, please take the roll.
Councilmember Pasqua,
Yes.
Councilmember Ludwig,
Yes.
Councilmember Shockley,
Yes.
Vice President LeBlanc.
Yes,
Four in the affirmative, zero in the negative, motion passes.
great. Do I hear a motion to continue the new secondhand license for Jose Martinez, 75 Airport Road?
I would give it a date certain, Mr. President,
Date
Probably
certain.
probably sometime in August.
Okay. Give me 1 minute.
He can come back sooner if it's ready, but I don't know what zoning's schedule is in terms of hearing things or how long it may take for him to get through that process.
All right. August 15th. So I guess,
I'll make the motion to
okay.
continue to 15 August.
yes. Sorry.
It's 15th. It's August 8th or August 22nd.
So can I make the motion for a continuance to August 22nd unless he's able to get a special use permit sooner?
I'll second that.
Motion by member Ludwig, seconded by member Shockley. Any additional discussion? Clerk, please take the roll.
Councilmember Pasqua,
Yes.
Councilmember Ludwig,
Yes.
Councilmember Shockley,
Yes.
Vice President LeBlanc.
Yes.
Four in the affirmative, zero in the negative, motion passes.
Moving on to item 3C, public hearing renewals. Do I hear a motion to take these renewals as a block?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Motion by member Shockley, second by member Pasqua. The renewals are for Leslie Latorno, doing business as Candy's Curiosities and Vintage, 466 Washington Street. The second one is for Donna Lux, doing business as D's Walk-in Closet, 820 Tioga Ave. Number 3 is GameStop Inc., doing business as GameStop, 3707 672 Center of New England Boulevard. Number 4 is James McGovern, doing business as Jimmy's Junk, 113 Tioga Ave, Unit 4. And number 5 is B&R Salvage of Rhode Island, Inc., doing business as Northern Thrift, 495 Tioga Avenue. Is there anybody from any of these businesses here this evening? Any on Zoom? Okay. Any questions by anybody on council? These are just renewals. Great. All right, clerk, please take the roll.
Councilmember Pasqua,
Yes.
Councilmember Ludwig,
Yes.
Councilmember Shockley,
Yes.
Vice President LeBlanc.
Yes.
4 in the affirmative, 0 in the negative, motion passes.
Great. Thank you very much. Do I hear a motion to close public hearing?
I'll make a motion.
Motion by member Shockley. Second by member Pasqua. Any discussion? Clerk, please take the roll.
Councilmember Pasqua. Councilmember Ludwig,
Yes.
Councilmember Shockley,
Yes.
Vice President LeBlanc.
Yes.
4 in the affirmative, 0 in the negative, motion passes.
Thank you, clerk. Moving on to agenda item 4, licenses. 4A, application for new victualling license, Mega Tioga Avenue, Inc., doing business as Quality Fuel and Mart.
We only voted on the block. We didn't vote on the actual licenses.
Thank you, clerk. Appreciate that. Do I hear a motion to approve the renewals?
Make that motion.
I'll second it.
Motion by member Pasqua, second by member Shockley. Any discussion? Clerk, please take the roll.
Councilmember Pasqua,
Yes.
Councilmember Ludwig,
Yes.
Councilmember Shockley,
Yes.
Vice President LeBlanc.
Yes.
4 in the affirmative, 0 in the negative, motion passes.
Great, thank you. Thanks for that catch. Agenda item 4A, application for new victualling license, Mega Tioga Avenue, Inc., doing business as Quality Fuel and Mart, 585 Tioga Avenue, Coventry. This is continued from the May 9th, 2023 meeting. Do I hear a motion to approve this license?
I'll make a motion.
Do I hear a second?
Second for discussion.
Discussion.
Mr.
Member
President,
Pasqua. Oh,
sorry,
sorry.
I believe the
Comment.
owner is in the audience. If you guys want to speak to him, I know he was asked to come here tonight
Yes, he was.
regarding the concerns.
Could you please come to the podium, say your name and your address for the record?
Mia Salim, 18228, Patriot Way, West Greenwich, Rhode Island, 02817.
Great, thank you very much. Any questions from the council? Member Ludwig.
So my understanding is that the new license itself is just for the Quality Fuel Mart business and not to do with the other local businesses, correct, solicitor? This will only be a vote on this one location.
That's correct.
Okay, thank you. So one concern I did have is that you don't have the license yet, but you're already selling all of the items in the store, the drinks, the, different types of items that would fall under the license. I know that we had a council meeting last Tuesday we were supposed to have this license on there and it didn't get approved. But I know that it's been operating since before then.
I came
Right.
for last meeting, it was canceled.
Right, but I saw the advertisements the day before that meeting on May 22nd, which was before the 23rd meeting was disbanded or canceled, whatever we want to call it. So I'm just raising that you're already operating as if you have a license, but you don't. So I do want to suggest to the council that we have some sort of process in place, as the manager suggested, for some sort of process, possible fine or penalty for businesses who are operating without licenses. If it's just a week or two, I'm not going to hold that against you for this particular one, but it's not good, right? You're operating without the license. And I know that Tuesday meeting got canceled. I'm very sorry about that. But it was before that meeting that you've been selling these things. So I just want to make sure that, at least from the council side, I don't have any problem approving this location's license tonight, but that I do want some sort of process in place, because without any penalty, why are we even having people come up here and get licenses if there's no penalty when they operate without?
Completely agree.
I don't have a problem with the Quality Fuel location. I was there actually this week. It looks great. Derek is wonderful, the manager. So I wish you success at that business. But I do think we need to do better on our side to figure out how do we make sure people actually get the
So only
license.
thing is, we buy this business as a used business already. So when we take over the business, we take over all the grocery too. We apply same way when we take over the store. We apply all the license from the state. As soon as we receive a license from the state, we did apply from the city same day. City have some concern like a fire department, and we did everything what we have to supposed to. So we apply the licenses on time. We didn't late for apply the licenses. Like we apply
But
as soon.
it wasn't granted yet. So my problem is it
understand.
wasn't granted yet. And I kind of see that as a town issue. Like, we need a process in place so that we can quickly get you those types of approvals.
My thing is we apply on May, so it's almost 4 months, right? So it's like we got license from the state in 2 months. Without state license, we can apply for town licenses. As soon we apply the state license, we receive it. Same day we apply a town license. And is it no new location? Is a used location we bought it, and we bought it almost $200,000 worth in maturity. If we don't open it, it's going bad in 3 months.
So I'm still going to approve the license
Thank you.
in this instance, but I don't want to set a precedent for other people coming in thinking Jen's just going to approve anything that comes through because I have $200,000 in inventory that I have to sell immediately. I'm not going to do that.
No, I understand.
So for this time, I'm personally going to approve this particular location, even though we're having issues in my district over on Main Street with the lighting problem, which I know will be addressed in a separate manner. So I'm going to approve from my perspective tonight, and I'm going to ask that the manager please take under consideration some type of process to put in place for the future. Thank you.
Any other questions by the members of the council? Member Shockley.
Just working off of Member Ludwig's statement, I would also like to get more information. If someone is doing business in a way that is inappropriate, and I'm just working off of what she said. And they aren't doing that same level of inappropriate business someplace else, the owner, I would like more information in the future, just on the fact that we're not equating all of the businesses owned by one person in the same way. Or being able to take into account how business is being done in our town in one location while approving that same owner in another. That doesn't seem to make sense to me, so I would like more information there.
I think it's being a good neighbor. You don't have to have any kind of legal standing or something hanging over your head to be a good neighbor. So I think each individual business is its own independent entity that has to follow all the rules. So this particular business has all the licenses right now besides the victualling license. The other one, not so much, but again, each one is independent, but I think you're right. There needs to be a totality of good neighborhood ship towards everyone that frequents the businesses and how they deal with their neighbors. So, and I think it's on the town to have a better process to stay on top of these things and to also speed up the process. I know we have an issue with the fire marshal's office is slow. Sometimes building inspections are slow, and it's tough to hold them accountable when it's on our end. So there's definitely some give and take going forward.
I agree with Member Ludwig's suggestion and your suggestion, Town Manager, on coming up with the process. So if we can work on that, that'd be fantastic. Any other questions, comments? Nope. All right, Clerk, please take the roll.
Councilmember Pasqua,
Yes.
Councilmember Ludwig,
Yes.
Councilmember Shockley,
Yes.
Vice President LeBlanc,
Yes,
4 in the affirmative, 0 in the negative, motion passes.
license has been renewed. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Really appreciate
Thank
it. All right, moving on to item 4B, new mobile food establishment license, Bird's Nest Italian Street Food LLC, Michael Leverone, yearly license. Do I have a motion to approve this license?
Make that motion?
Motion by member Pasqua,
Oh, second it.
second by member Shockley. Any discussion? Is anybody here from the Bird's Nest Italian Street Food LLC? Side business, huh? Name and address for the record.
Raina Blumenthal, Parks and Recreation Director, 11 Grandview Drive,
Thank you.
Warwick.
Thank you.
They asked me, they're an hour and a half away and they couldn't get here in time.
Got it.
But
So
with
it's not
all-
a side business.
It's not a side
For
business. I
clarification.
wish it was.
Got it.
They have great food.
Good to know.
And all the other licenses are also going to be at our June 24th food truck and Billy Gilman concert.
And they serve Mexican food, is that right? I'm-
Yes, the Italian does.
Just kidding.
Yes, absolutely.
Awesome. Thank you. Appreciate you speaking on their behalf.
Can we take these as a block?
Oh, sure. We can take them as a block. Let's take item 4B, C, D, E, F.
Yeah, CD.
Sorry. Yep. B through E as a block. Do I hear that motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
All right. Any discussion? Clerk, please take the roll on block.
Councilmember Pasqua,
Yes.
Councilmember Ludwig,
Yes.
Councilmember Shockley,
Yes.
Vice President LeBlanc.
Yes.
4 in the affirmative, 0 in the negative, motion passes.
All right. So motion to approve the licenses.
Make that motion.
I'll second.
Member Shockley, did you second that? Okay, good. We have we have a second discussion. We've already discussed the Bird's Nest. Is there anybody here from Little Bees Barbecue? Okay. Oh. Got it. No, okay. Gordito Snow Cones? No. And Rise and Grind? No. Okay. Clerk, please take the roll. Oh, sorry. Rebecca Hammond. Can you please state your name and address for the record and tell us about your business?
Yes, Rebecca Hammond, 30 Bell Street, West Warwick, Rhode Island.
Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you for your time.
Of course. If you could please just tell us about your business?
Sure. We are a mobile coffee truck, but we also serve other beverages such as iced tea, chai, lemonade. We are licensed. We have our state license and we also have our food license. So we will actually begin doing breakfast egg rolls this year. And part of our renewal is to be in attendance at your 4th of July celebration this year.
Got it. Thank you very much. Really appreciate you being here with us tonight. Any
Thank you so
questions?
much. No,
Any
no, sir.
members? Sorry. Any members for any questions by the members of the council? No? All right. Oh, we have another hand up. Okay. Can you please state your name and address for the record?
My name is Carmen Nova, 9 Wheeland Road, apartment 3-5. I'm representing my husband, John Valesi, for Gordito Snow Cones.
Great. Thanks for being with us tonight. Can you please just tell us about your business?
Yes, we are a mobile food trailer. We sell delicious chopped cheese. It's a New York-based sandwich made of ground beef, very well seasoned, and sub and very cheesy. We also have delicious wings, and we are getting our license so we can be at the celebration for on June 24th for the July 4th celebration that you guys have in your town.
Great. I'm going to have to find you.
Yes, definitely come by.
It sounds like we have a lot of new businesses trying to come in for that specific event. So greatly appreciate your time this evening. Any questions for either owner? No? All right, clerk, please take the roll.
Councilmember Pasqua,
Yes.
Councilmember Ludwig,
Yes.
Councilmember Shockley.
Yes.
Vice President LeBlanc.
Yes.
4 in the affirmative, 0 in the negative, motion passes.
Thank you. Moving on to 4F, renewal of 60-day hawker license, S&T Fireworks, Shane Rakowski, to be located at 792 Tioga Ave, June 26, 2023 through July 4th, 2023. Is Shane here this evening? Does not look that way. Oh, got a hand up. Can you please state your name and address for the record and tell us about your business?
Hi, can you hear us?
Yes.
Oh, here's my husband.
Hi,
Okay, great.
Jane Rakowski, owner of S&T's Fireworks, 35 Roth Street, Norwich, Connecticut.
Great. Can you just tell us a little bit about your business? How many years you've been in Coventry doing this?
Oh, time's going by quick. I think at least 10 or 12 years. I have a brick and mortar store in Connecticut, been in business 22 years. I set up tents in different towns, but prior to the 4th, roughly around 10 days.
Great. Thank you very much. Any questions from any member of the council? Hearing none. Clerk, please take the roll.
Councilmember Pasqua.
Yes.
Councilmember Ludwig.
Yes.
Councilmember Shockley.
Yes.
Vice President LeBlanc.
Yes.
4 in the affirmative, 0 in the negative, motion passes.
Great. Moving on to agenda item 5, election and or appointment of town officials. 5A, town manager appointments. Conservation Commission, Mr. Robert Brennan. Town manager, would you like to speak on this?
Yes, I believe Mr. Brennan is here. If you could step forward to the mic, just tell us a little bit about yourself. I'm nominating him for the Conservation Commission. He originally asked about the land trust. Unfortunately, there's no opening currently in the land trust, but he gracefully volunteered for conservation. So I'm glad he's here.
Thank you.
So I
Can you
believe I've met all of you except Mr. Pasqua. You know, I've been involved in Coventry things for about 43 years. We've been members of Rhode Island Audubon since we moved to the state, which is back in '78. This has been a lifelong interest as far as, you know, conservation. It needs to be balanced against development in an area. I'm fully aware of that type of thing, and I'm aware that this is strictly advisory. So, you know, I'm not waving flags and becoming an eco-terrorist or anything like that. But it is something that I think is important. And I think Coventry has a good record of that. If you look at the western part of the state, the amount of contiguous land that's protected out there, I think we should be proud of that. So
Agreed.
you can ask me any questions you like.
Thank you very much. Any questions by any members of the council? No questions. Do I hear a motion to appoint Mr. Robert Brennan?
I'll make the motion.
We have a motion by member Ludwig,
I'll second that.
second by member Shockley. Any discussion? No. Clerk, please take the roll.
Councilmember Pasqua.
Yes.
Councilmember Ludwig.
Yes.
Councilmember Shockley.
Yes.
Vice President LeBlanc.
Yes.
4 in the affirmative, 0 in the negative, motion passes.
Thank you, clerk. Agenda item 5B, town council appointments. BA, Coventry Historic Preservation Commission. There's one opening. We have Mr. Nicholas Longo. Is Mr. Nicholas Longo here this evening? If you could please state your name and address for the record and let us know why you're interested in this commission. Good evening. Great. Thank you very much. I really appreciate all that. Any questions by any member of the council? Member Pasqua.
Just a comment. I speak with Mr. Longo often, and he's very engaged in the community.
Absolutely.
He's an asset to the community, in my opinion, and I'm looking forward to appointing him to this.
I second that as well. All right. Do I hear a motion to appoint Mr. Nicholas Longo to the Coventry Historic Preservation Commission?
I make that motion.
Motion by.
I'll second
Pasqua,
it.
Second by Member Shockley. Any discussion? Hearing none. Clerk, please take the roll.
Councilmember Pasqua,
Yes.
Councilmember Ludwig,
Yes.
Councilmember Shockley,
Yes.
Vice President LeBlanc.
Yes.
4 in the affirmative, 0 in the negative, motion passes.
Thank you, Clerk. Item 5B, Coventry Town Council appointments for Coventry Housing Authority. There's one opening. Is Mr. David Gervais here? If you could please come to the podium, state your name and address.
My name is David Jervis, Jervis. I live at 300 Abbott's Crossing Road here in Coventry, born and raised there, still live in the same location, 81 years.
And this is a renewal for this authority.
Yeah, I've been on the board for like almost 10 years now.
And why do you enjoy it so much?
I like making sure that the elderly get taken care of, all that's possible for them.
It's good
Make
reason.
sure they're entitled to. I did that with 47 years working for the town in the tax office, the seniors, and they drafted me to go over there. And I did after Mr. DePato retired, and then Harold Trafford left, and then Joe Shea, he left. So it left me senior man down there, I guess. So,
All
so
the
I
knowledge.
accepted the appointment down
Yep.
there, and I enjoy it. I'm always there when Julie needs me or anybody on the board needs me. And I tell them I'm not coming out of Providence. I'm right next door. Just call me. I'm always in town.
So I appreciate the fact
I
that you want
enjoy
to
it.
be renewed back onto this authority. So
I would appreciate that.
absolutely.
Thank
Um,
everyone.
Do I hear a motion to appoint Mr. David? Of course. Member Ludwig.
Thank you for your service to the town. Appreciate it.
Thank you. You are totally, thank you. It's been my pleasure, really, after all these years. I still enjoy it, and I still come back for anything that is needed that I can help them on.
Understood. That's why we're on here. So totally.
That's
get
right.
it. Do I hear a motion to appoint Mr. David Gervais to the Coventry Housing Authority?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? None. Clerk, please take the roll.
Councilmember Pasqua,
Yes.
Councilmember Ludwig.
Yes.
Councilmember Shockley.
Yes.
Vice President LeBlanc.
Yes.
4 in the affirmative, 0 in the negative, motion passes.
You're all
I
set,
thank
sir.
you all. Thank you very much. Okay.
Really appreciate it.
I brought a plan with me of the new one we're doing over on Phoenix, 633 Main Street. If you saw the roads all tore up and the buildings being
I
restored.
have.
Across some Victor Electric wire and cable
Yes.
for those that have been around.
Yep.
So we're still working on that, and we're looking for other projects to get going on pretty soon here.
Awesome.
Okay.
Thanks for
Thank
all the work
you.
you do.
Okay.
Agenda item 5B, Town Council appointments, letter C, Library Board of Trustees. There's one opening. Is Mr. William Rogers here this evening? If you could please state your name and your address. And this is also a renewal. Oop, Just make sure you press it up. There you go.
William Rogers. I live at 402 Fairview Avenue in Coventry, near Butsy's, old Butsy's. We've lived there for 70 years. I've been on the board since 2012. Excuse me, if my memory serves me correctly. And I just would like to have another appointment for whatever the term is, 2 or 3 years. before I finish, serving the public, I think it's a very important position. I'm very interested in libraries and the services that they provide. And I think it's very important, the programs which we provide for little children, especially planting the seeds of literacy and all of that that the library offers. And so I'd like to be appointed for another term, please, if I may.
Great. I appreciate all your service to date. Any questions by any member of the council? Questions? Do I hear a motion to appoint Mr. William Rogers to the Library Board of Trustees?
I'll make a motion.
Motion.
Second.
We have a second. Discussion. None. Clerk, please take the roll.
Councilmember Pasqua,
Yes.
Councilmember Ludwig,
Yes.
Councilmember Shockley,
Yes.
Vice President LeBlanc.
Yes.
4 in the affirmative, 0 in the negative, motion passes.
All set.
Thank you very
Very
much.
much. Really
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
D, Pawtucket River Authority. There's one opening. Mr. Mark Lemoy. If you could please state your name and address for the record. Let us know why you want to be renewed.
Mark Lemoy, 34 Island Drive, Coventry.
Good evening.
I want to thank the council and considering me again. I already serve on the board. I've been on for six months. I'm the new guy on the board. I guess I was finishing out someone else's term. And I really want the opportunity to continue. I've got a lot to learn there, and I think I can be a good asset with my experience with Johnson's Pond, serving on as the president there. The Pawtucket, I'm very interested in, as you know, in keeping Coventry's natural resources protected. And also one of the big mission statements of Pawtucket River Authority is to gain access for the public to different areas of the river via grants. That's a lot I'm still learning on and I want to get more involved with.
Great. Thank you very much. Do I hear a motion to appoint Mr. Mark Lemoy? Sure. Member Ludwig?
Thanks. Thank you, Mr. Lemoy, for your service so far. I will be voting yes. I just have a procedural question.
Sure.
So I guess I'm a little confused because I think, or if I remember correctly, it was the president that appointed last time, but now we're being asked for a vote on renewal. Am I remembering that correctly?
Town manager, do you? Or
I just remember
Mr.
Hillary.
Solicitor?
I don't have any
appointing it.
recollection of that.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I don't have a recollection on that either.
All right, I'll go back and look. I just was wondering why we had to vote on a renewal, but not an appointment. But I will be voting yes. So thank you.
So from my understanding, I was just appointed to finish out the term of the previous board member.
Right.
Yeah.
Do I hear a motion to reappoint Mr. Mark Lemoy to the Pawtucket River Authority?
I make
I'll
that
make-
motion.
And I'll second it.
We have a motion. We have a second. Clerk, please take the roll.
Councilmember Pasqua,
Yes.
Councilmember Ludwig.
Yes.
Councilmember Shockley,
Yes.
Vice President LeBlanc.
Yes.
4 in the affirmative, 0 in the negative,
Thank you.
motion passes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. E, Zoning Board of Review. We have one opening, 2 alternates, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 6 names. Edward Ionati, Leonard Doug, Roy Sassy, Ronald Pelletier, Roger Reardon, and Donald LeBroli. Is anybody here this evening? Can you please come to the podium, state your name and address?
Leonard Doeg, 13 Old Missionary Highway. I'm a review. I guess I already interviewed with you guys 4 or 5 times now.
You have, I remember you.
Yeah, just up for a review.
I think you were in that hat
I've been
last
on
time
the
too.
zoning board now about 4 or 5 years now. I forget now, but I know I've interviewed with several of you.
You have.
I appreciate the appointment, and I really enjoyed being on the zoning board.
All right.
It's very interesting, to say the least.
Yeah. Oh, I'm aware. Thank you very
Yeah.
much. Really appreciate your interest.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you.
Any questions by any members of the council? Member Shockley.
Not for this candidate.
Okay.
I have met you before. Nice to see you. I just want to make sure I'm clear. There's one full opening and 2 alternate openings
Correct.
available.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
So do I have to reapply for the full timer if I need, would like to be on a full timer as opposed
That's what you're here for tonight.
to be
And,
the
and
full
we,
timer?
we get to decide
Oh,
who's
okay.
going to be the full timer and then who's going to be the alternates.
Oh, okay, awesome. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you very much. Is there anybody else here this evening? If you could please come to the podium, state your name and address, and let us know why you're interested in the zoning board of review. Got it. Thank you very much. Any questions? Member Pascal.
I believe you recently applied for the planning board and it was brought up that you were interested in zoning as well, right? Is that correct? Okay. Gotcha. Okay. Yep. Perfect.
Is there anybody else here this evening related to the zoning board of review? Anybody on Zoom? Okay. What is the pleasure of the council? Correct. Member Shockley.
I just would like to have a little bit of discussion before putting members forth. You know, I noticed tonight that while some of them are very recent, beginning their positions, we have a lot of people who have been doing this for a decade or more, which I think is great on one hand. And then I also want to make sure that people who are looking to enter volunteerism with our town have that opportunity as well.
Agreed.
Those who maybe never have done it before. I don't know if anyone knows kind of the current makeup of the tenure of the zoning board of review.
Clerk, could you speak to that, please?
So I just have the dates that they were appointed and when their term expires.
Okay.
So I have Robert Crow, he was appointed in 2022. Edward Ionati was appointed in 2021. Keith Cloutier was appointed in 2019. Russell Lacklade was in 2020. Ross Pelletier was 2022. Michael New was in 2022, and Doug Leonard was in, Leonard Doag was in 2022. Those are one-year terms for the alternates. Michael New and Leonard are one-year terms for the alternate positions, and the other terms are 5-year terms.
So none of them had served before, or
They-
is that just their most recent?
This is just their most recent. I'd have to go into my files to see when they actually first started on the board.
Another question I have, and maybe I should know because I see all their addresses. Do we know what districts people are from?
I
just
can give
feel
you the
planning and zoning,
addresses.
it's
I
safe to-
don't know. I don't know I can look up the district. I don't know off the top of my head. I know one is from Reservoir Road. So that was John Pelletier is, you said District 3.
Ronald Pelletier is
wrong.
District 3.
One of them lives on MacArthur Boulevard. Old Hope Road.
So MacArthur would be D4.
Old Hope Road, and then we have Main Street.
Main Street would probably be D4. Yeah.
1438 Main Street.
Probably Ludwig, right? Remember Ludwig?
'44 Allison Avenue. 18 Watercress Court.
Yeah.
So it seems like they're all over.
13 Old Mishnock Highway.
I'd agree.
So you got a pretty good
Yeah,
mix.
we do have a good mix. I would agree. Mr. Pelletier, is there any relation to the other Pelletier on the board? Okay, thank you for confirming. Appreciate it. And then we do have Edward Ionati, who has applied, and he would be a renewal for a full-time,
Correct.
and he was placed on in 2021.
Yes.
Okay. Member Pasqua.
Ms. Amatrano, has anybody reached out to you that isn't here tonight and expressed interest or not, or just not responded at all?
They've all expressed interest.
Okay.
Every one of them has. That's listed tonight.
And there's no additional that you received subsequent to tonight's agenda being posted that you're aware of at least?
I
Any
mean,
additional
I know
applications?
Roy Sassy he was not able to make it.
Got it. Yep.
Yeah, he's been ill.
Okay. All right.
I would like to make a motion to reappoint Edward Ionati for a full opening. Leonard Doeg, apologize, as an alternate, and Ronald Pelletier as an alternate.
Do I have
I'll
a second?
second that motion.
All right. Motion in a second. Any additional discussion? Ms. Samatrano, please take the roll.
Councilmember Pasqua,
Yes.
Councilmember Ludwig.
Yes.
Councilmember Shockley,
Yes.
Vice President LeBlanc.
Yes.
4 in the affirmative, 0 in the negative, motion passes.
Great. Thank you. And thanks for everybody for being here tonight. Absolutely. All right. Agenda item 6, report of the town manager, Daniel Parrillo, town manager, IBPO police contract negotiations update. Mr. Manager.
Yes, so Solicitor Angel and I have been working with the IBPO board and their attorney for approximately a month now. We're making great strides. The executive board is very professional. They really understand the needs of the town while at the same time pushing for their officers. So I think it's a good balance on their part. Again, very respectful, making a lot of progress. The goal is to have this in front of the body by the end of the month
Beautiful.
for executive session to discuss the changes.
Any questions by any members of the council? Member Ludwig.
Are any of the counselors sitting in on the sessions with you? Is it just you?
Just myself and the solicitor.
Okay, thank you.
And Solicitor Angel, you actually had made the recommendation, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, that you did not believe any town council member should be sitting on any union negotiation table. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Thank you. Any additional questions?
Yes.
Member Shockley.
I just want to make sure that at the executive session, the council, because we haven't been sitting, if we have suggestions, questions, anything that we would like changed, is this opportunity still there?
Nothing has been signed yet. I want to bring to you a package of what we've agreed upon, but that won't be the final document until the council is satisfied with the amendments and the changes.
Member Ludwig.
I don't want to just gloss over the previous comment to Councilor Shockley's. So it sounds like this is the first time I'm hearing that solicitors recommending that the council not be on a union board. I personally have not heard that before. I know that we've recently been reached out, set the proper grammar, reached out to by the school committee for an upcoming negotiation. Can we consider putting that just as a general discussion item for an upcoming agenda to talk about why the recommendation is what it is?
Sure.
Thanks.
My only request, town manager, is a red line version between the old contract and the new. And then any language change, if I could get a dollar amount associated, either it's a give back or it's going to be additional out of the town's pocket.
Yeah,
I
we'll
would
include
appreciate
we'll include a fiscal note, kind of depicts, it's going to be we're looking to do a 5-year contract with the police. So that'll be broken down what the changes are over that
Okay.
time frame.
All right, great. I appreciate it. Any additional questions? Nope. All right. Moving on to agenda item 8, resolutions of the council. Item 8A, resolution 2023-31, partnership with the RIPTA. Oh, actually, Town Manager, I believe we're continuing this.
Yes, if we could continue it. Director Robillard was contacted today by RIPTA, and they may be an opportunity to get the 3 buses funded at 100% as opposed to the
100%. So
80%.
no pocket out, no money from the town.
Correct. So they're working to that right now, and we hope to have that new agreement and resolution in front of the council by the end of the month.
And I think that's actually going to save some ARPA funds that we,
Yes.
I think,
Yes.
already talked about. Okay, great. Can I get a motion to continue resolution 2023-31?
I'll make the
to
motion.
The next town council meeting? Does that work, Town Manager? Next town council meeting?
13th, yes, that
Okay.
should work. Yes.
Motion by member Shockley.
Are we still doing the 13th? Aren't we changing the meeting for the month of June?
That's why I said the next town council meeting.
It works for me.
Yeah, the third, right now it's the 13th and the 22nd, the 27th is going to be canceled. Yeah.
So we have a motion. We have a second. Second by member Pasqua. Any additional discussion? Clerk, please take the roll.
Councilmember Pasqua,
Yes.
Councilmember Ludwig,
Yes.
Councilmember Shockley,
Yes.
Vice President LeBlanc,
Yes.
4 in the affirmative, 0 in the negative, motion passes.
Item 8B, resolution 2023-32 to purchase a brush chipper DPW. Oh, we did. No, so good. It's all good. DPW capital improvement. Mr. McGee, would you like to speak on this, please?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you very much. What this is before you for is we have currently 2 chippers. The one we're looking to replace is 35 years old, will not make a storm, and we can't get parts for it for the majority of the time. Our frontline chipper, by the way, is 22 years old. So we're trying to upgrade some of these chippers so that we, as the weather's getting worse, that we are able to put together 3 strike crews, be able to go out into 3 different areas of the town with backhoes, loaders, chippers, and trucks. Right now, we are able to use in an emergency Raymond's Parks and Recreation chipper, but we definitely need an additional chipper for Department of Public Works. And I provided you with a list of the chippers that we had gotten prices on. And we think we got one of the better. It's a diesel unit, 12-inch, and it'll serve as what we're looking for. And this is a contract that we're getting through Sourcewell, which is a national cooperative. So we get the best price at 40% off of what the list price. And unlike some of the other chippers that are available, the company actually has 2 of them sitting on the ground at their office. So if you approve this, hopefully within the week, I'll have it here.
So no 12 to 18-month delay.
This one here does not have a lead time.
All right, and the cost is $55,505. 42,008 of it would be coming from the capital fund, and 13,497 will come from the scrap account.
That's correct.
All right. Any questions, Member Lowick?
I was just curious, what are you, I know, or I believe I understand what a chipper does. You're putting tree branches and things through it. But where would we need that in town? Is this like?
Anytime you have a large storm where trees are coming down. we lose
Like
the
on
power.
roads and things?
On the
or-
roads, we cut them up we send strike teams out to address getting the roads opened up for emergency vehicles.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Member Lowick. Sorry, Shockley.
Oh, okay. I'm like, oh, you're going again. So living in a developed tree Latin community, I definitely understand what this is for. And I just want to make sure I'm understanding from the resolution and letting the taxpayers understand. Most of this was already budgeted for in this year's budget and the fiscal year 23 budget. And what was not, there is a scrap account from items that come into the dump, I'm assuming, and get scrapped, and we
Surplus.
utilize that surplus. So it is budgeted for.
Correct.
Perfect.
Member Pascal.
Just a question on this. So what would the cost comparison look like if you were to say rent one from like Sunbelt or something when you need it like, do you need it that often? Is it more advantageous to do that?
We have a chipper that goes out every day with our crews that we're cutting back brush
Okay,
along all the roads of the rural and central part of the state of the town. And that chipper goes along with them. Right now, we have no backup
right. So you're using it quite often.
on a daily
and-
basis.
Okay, that answers my question. Great, thank you.
Any additional questions? Nope. Do I hear a motion to approve resolution 2023-32 as written?
I'll make a motion.
We have a motion.
Second,
We have a second. Clerk, please take the roll.
Councilmember Pasqua,
yes.
Councilmember Ludwig,
Yes.
Councilmember Shockley,
Yes.
Vice President LeBlanc,
Yes.
4 in the affirmative, 0 in the negative, motion passes.
Just a quick question on this. Were we clear on which one though? Yeah, the 12-inch drum diesel, 50,505.
505. Yep.
Yeah. 50,505.
Yep, that's what the resolution had.
Quotation.
55,505,
Oh, okay, 'cause
according to this math.
Okay, this is different. 'cause this is- okay.
That just says $50,505. But I don't think it matters as long as the resolution's right. This says $55,505.
Shipping also, but the actual unit is one price, the shipping and everything else goes
Got
on.
it.
That's fine.
Okay,
I just wanted to make
understood.
sure we
That
were
makes sense.
making the motion for the right numbers.
Gotcha. Great.
Makes
Perfect.
sense to me.
Thank you. Yeah, right. It's all good. That's right.
All right, moving on to item 8C, resolution 2023-33, amended provisional adoption of FY 24 budget. We have this resolution on page 60 of 62 of your packet. This resolution is for the adoption of the provisional budget for fiscal year 2024. Due to the fact that this resolution is related to the budget and includes specific details related to the FY 24 budget, I was going to read it. So it says, whereas in the town of Coventry, the town manager has presented his 2023-2024 municipal budget to the town council, including a total expenditure of $116,549,019 as set forth in the town of Coventry Home Rule Charter, section 8.14, and the anticipated general property tax revenue will be $78,422,939, and state aid, general government and school department revenues are anticipated to be $38,119,049, and anticipated local appropriation for the schools will be $50,523,936. These funds will supplement state education aid, other school revenues, and the SRP pension contribution for a school operating budget of $79,221,244. And that $410,747 will be appropriated for capital improvement projects, and that $500,000 will be appropriated for contingency, and that $821,547 will be appropriated from the American Rescue Plan Act, ARPA, for one-time town projects which are outside the proposed operating budget, and that approximately $320,000 will be appropriated from the ARPA funds for one-time school projects not to be included in maintenance of effort or part of the fiscal 2024 operating budget. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Honorable Town Council adopts the provisional budget for the fiscal year 2024. However, I believe, Town Manager, we still want to discuss the Park and Recs budget for a
Yes.
potential change.
So I sent an email earlier to everyone, kind of outlining what the town is looking for and what Rain is looking for. So it's really important that we fund an additional $82,617 for her programs and special events. That basically is utilized by over 1,000 people in the programs and over 9,000 people with the special events. And I think it's vital to the operation of that department that gets funded. There was a second ask for $21,401 for the teen center, but that is no longer a priority for ours in this budget. It's definitely that $82,617 for the programs and the special events that we would like the council to add to that $116,549. There'll be no increase to the budget. Mr. Savetti has identified additional funds, both in interest and penalties on the tax collection office, and also additional interest on investments through our provider GYL to make up for that $82,617.
Just a
So-
point of clarification, you said there's not an increase to our budget. However, I think it's not an increase to the
levy, I'm
property
sorry.
tax. Yep. I
Yes,
just
correct.
wanted to make sure.
Yeah, the
Um,
323 levy will remain.
So if I heard you correctly, I believe in the first sentence, it needs to be that the town manager has presented his 2023-2024 municipal budget to the town council, including a total expenditure of, and it's 116,631,636.
Correct.
Mr. Savetta, you agree with that number? Perfect. Do I have a motion by the council to approve this resolution?
I'm going to propose to approve this resolution, but can I just ask a question first?
Absolutely.
So,
Discuss it.
it says if the 82,617 isn't approved, it's a loss of revenue of $94,000.
Approximately.
So these programs pay for themselves. And this year, we're paying for them outside of the tax levy, but they're also bringing money in. So is this part of what we're working on to just make sure that we keep revolving those funds from revenue to pay for programs over time?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I just wanted to make sure I understood that, and I make a motion.
So I think we just need a motion to amend the resolution as it currently reads, so that that first number is 116,631,636.
I make a motion to amend the first bullet of the resolution that the town manager has presented his 23-24 municipal budget to the town council, including a total expenditure of $116,631,636 as set forth in the town of Coventry Home Rule Charter, section 8.14.
Thank you. Motion made. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second. Any additional discussion on the amendment? Clerk, please take the roll.
Councilmember Pasqua,
Yes.
Councilmember Ludwig,
Yes.
Councilmember Shockley,
Yes.
Vice President LeBlanc.
Yes.
4 in the affirmative, 0 in the negative, motion passes.
Do I hear a motion to approve the amended resolution?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Motion, we have a second. Any additional discussion?
Sign up for Coventry Rec basketball this summer. Tomorrow's the last day.
Public service announcement. Yes. Okay. Do we need to make a motion for that, solicitor? Amendment, okay. Can we have an amendment to the resolution that states the adoption of the amended provisional budget for fiscal year 2024?
One more, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
That date, the May 23rd date was the canceled meeting date. So he's gonna make that June 1st, which is today. Sorry.
Included in that amendment, changing the date to June 1st, 2023. Do I hear that?
I make a motion, or do I have to repeat everything you said?
Nope, you don't.
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. Clerk, please take the roll.
Councilmember Pasqua,
Yes.
Councilmember Ludwig,
Yes.
Councilmember Shockley,
Yes.
Vice President LeBlanc.
Yes,
4 in the affirmative, 0 in the negative, motion passes.
now I believe we need one more motion to approve this fully amended resolution. Do we have that motion?
I make a motion.
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. Clerk, please take the roll.
Councilmember Pasqua,
Yes.
Councilmember Ludwig.
Yes.
Councilmember Shockley,
Yes.
Vice President LeBlanc.
Yes,
4 in the affirmative, 0 in the negative, motion passes.
great. Give me 1 second. Yep. What was that? Oh, okay. Public comment. Yep. Agenda item 13, public comment for undocketed items. Would anybody like to speak on undocketed items? Please come to the podium, state your name and address. Good evening. Oh, can you just make sure that mic's on? Just, yep.
Good evening, council. Good evening, Mr. Angel and Mr. Dan Parrillo. I'm here tonight to ask for your help to adopt a ordinance pertaining to landscapers, log splitters, stump grinders, crown cleaners. You get the picture. I have a business next door to me, and the town of Coventry has not recognized it, or the zoning officer has not recognized it. All of our neighbors have come to me I've had yard sales. Strangers have come to me and asked why there's a business next to me in a residential area. So I feel that the customary home occupation is not addressing this. This right here mentions about home occupation shall not generate any vibration, smoke, dust, odor, heat, glare, or offensive noise. I've already had the odor from the bonfires. Mr. Parrillo came to my home, and that has now stopped. The 20-foot round pit has been dismantled. All the boulders are still there. The gentleman next door took all the boulders out of the back of his property in the hill, and he made a big, huge fire pit. So now that is dismantled. They still have all the debris. He brings home all of his tree branches, brush, huge pieces of wood that because he does the crown, he cuts the trees off, climbs the trees, brings them there. So I hear the chainsaws going, I hear the log splitter. When he wants to sell the wood, which of course we can't prove right now that he's selling the wood, I just see him leaving the property at 4:45 after everyone's gone from work, and bringing the wood. I would love to follow him. I don't want to be arrested, but I can. I'm retired now, so I can follow him if you allow me to. I mean, because I have a part-time job and I'm going to work, and he's in front of me, and now he's only driving 20 miles an hour because he wants to get me on his cell phone thinking that I'm following him, but I'm going to work. So now he's pulling aside into a garage, not even getting gas. I mean, it's a joke. I'm sorry. It's 211 Reed Schoolhouse Road. I live at 185 Reed Schoolhouse Road.
I just got your voicemail, so I'll contact you.
Yeah, I'm just really concerned because now he has people, I guess they're trying to fill the holes where the big boulders are. So now he's having other companies come to the property with their business names on it, and they're driving across the lawn like they're on a horse chase or something, and they're dumping the leaves and they're coming back. I mean, if a small child runs onto that property, I don't have no fence. I have just like there's trees. There's no sound dampening in his property. The property has been cleared. There is no grass. There is dirt. So now when it rains, it all goes down Reed Schoolhouse Road. There's no grass. I mean, the backyard is no grass. What I would like to bring to your attention, that is, we do have an ordinance that pertains to peace and good order of the Code of Ordinance of the Town of Coventry. It's for property maintenance. 211 Reed Schoolhouse and 241 Reed Schoolhouse. We might as well put them together now because they are the same way. Their house, I don't care what they do as long as it doesn't bother me. But when it affects my quality of life, I'm going to do something until the end. So please, please do something for me. There is houses that are right 2 houses away from this property that just sold for $740,000. You're going to have someone come into this community, and this guy is going to start chainsawing when she is pregnant with a 7-month-old baby, and that baby's going to take a nap. What are we going to say? Oh, welcome to Coventry. You are allowed to, you can cut 16 cords of wood for you and for your neighbors. That's what they're allowing them. They're saying that he can cut 10 cords of wood for himself and 6 cords of wood for his father, wherever he lives. Now, we know last winter was a nice warm winter. No one was burning, but he still had those 16 cords of wood. They're gone. So, and we know he's selling them. It's just common sense. He's making us look like a fool. All of us look like a fool because we're all allowing him to do this. I don't know who he knows. I will find out. I know that he had a business in Warwick. It's not there. He's never paid tangible tax on it. I have so much information here with laws and rules and regulations, and everyone has their eyes are wide shut. That's what I'm seeing here is just eyes wide shut. All right. So please, please, thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it. I greatly appreciate the policeman came to my property. But there has to be more than just this. I have rights, just like he has rights. His rights do not take away my rights. Do you understand? Please help. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Member Ludwig?
Ma'am, so I know we can't comment on this because it's not on the agenda. I do want to thank you for your comments. And I'll connect with Manager Parrillo and you offline. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Is there anybody else here this evening that would like to speak? Sure. Is there anybody on Zoom that would like to make a public comment? Going once, going twice, 3 times. Member Shockley?
This isn't on the agenda, so should I? It's pertaining to the
It's public comment,
police.
so you're allowed to.
I just wasn't sure if I should go there. It's pertaining to the contracts that were currently ongoing with the police. While I understand that for the SRP and the teachers, we don't want a representative. That's what I just said. It's-
We can't talk about this. This is not on the agenda.
I just said that.
Yeah. No, she's not here as a member of the public. She's here as a member of the council. This is not.
That was my
not
exact
in-
question I just asked and was given an entirely different answer by the solicitor. But that's fine. We can talk about it offline. Sure.
All right. Take an adjournment at 7:56. Motion to adjourn at 7:56.
Make motion.
Thank you. We have a motion.
Second.
We have a second. Clerk, please take the roll.
Councilmember Pasqua,
Yes.
Councilmember Ludwig,
Yes.
Councilmember Shockley.
Yes.
Vice President LeBlanc.
Yes.
4 in the affirmative, 0 in the negative, motion passes.
I know.
That being said, I just want to make sure that